the Tennessee Horror News Podcast. Coming to you live from Tennessee Horror News World Headquarters in the basement of my mom's trailer. Hence the name, The Basement. As always, we have our local expert here, Jim. And also, today we have with us Jim Rothman, the writer and director of a movie called Scythe, a realistic slasher film. What's going on, Jim? Glad to have you.
Hey there, guys. How you
Doing
doing?
great. So, Scythe, your realistic slasher film, I watched, you let us see the short film, and it really had me on the edge of my seat. I was just like waiting for something to jump out, that's just like heart pumping.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the idea behind Scythe. We want to get people drawn into the film. Jump scares have had their day, and a lot of gore has had their day. We haven't seen a slasher film in a long time that really brings you into the story and makes you focus and makes you get involved. And that's really what we're allowed to accomplish with this one. Plus a lot of human interest characters, of course. Yeah,
I loved it, and I like what you're doing with it. And like you said, you don't want somebody tripping over a blade of grass.
Yeah, that's the huge cliche. I mean, I understand why they did it back in the day. It was trying to add tension to the situation, but it's become such a cliche. There's so many cliches in the horror film franchise that was our basic focus behind the film. Let's make a film that's more realistic, update it for modern times, and let's take out all the horror film cliches that were so ingrained in our heads back in the day that we could actually make a much better, more interactive, and much more human interest type of slasher film where we care about the characters and all the things that would normally happen in real life actually happen on the screen.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah. So your Kickstarter campaign.
We are on day 9 right now of the campaign, yeah.
Day 9.
And we got a great, awesome week. We're into the second week. We're doing pretty good. Just trying to get some more traffic driving our way and have more people pledge to us. But we're really excited. A lot of people like yourselves are giving us a lot of opportunities to be able to be seen by the general public and then get people involved and get people excited about it and then just swing on by and put in a pledge. We have all kinds of awesome prizes, all kinds of pieces of memorabilia from the movie or things that you may want to do to be a part of the movie. Like, for example, we have a $150 Your Props package. A lot of people like to be, personally connected to a film. So if you give us one of your props, we will put it in the film somewhere. So it's like your own personal gag to say, hey, I'm actually a part of that film. And then if you're just looking for, the basic package of like a Blu-ray or a autographed copy of a script or a poster or things like that, then we have all those things. All those different levels are available on our Kickstarter page.
That props campaign is really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. We've done a few of them so far, like 5 or 6. I have a friend of mine who pledged that. He's a commentator. He's like an MC, kind of a spokesman, where he'll be in front of an audience and try to. He's a moderator. He'll run the interview sessions, whatever else. And he always likes to wear his signature fedora hat. He has a nice fedora hat. So he actually pledged for the Your Props package and wants his fedora to be in the film. So we're gonna put it in the film for him. So it's stuff like that. Anything you think of, anything you think that you might want to have, something that you had when you were growing up. As long as it's license free, we don't have to actually go out to Mattel or something like that trying to get a license. But let's say you want a picture of yourself or a picture of your son or daughter or your favorite skillet or your favorite whatever, a pillow. If you want something in the film that has a personal connection to you that you can see up on the screen, we'll put it in for you.
Oh, that is pretty awesome, though. Like, if you put your own picture in there.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we've had a couple people already give us pictures of their son or their daughter. They say, I want to see them in the films. Like, absolutely, no problem. Swing on by and pledge for it. We got plenty of space.
Yeah, we actually pledged.
Yes, you guys did. I really appreciate that.
Of course, we support you, so we put a pledge in. We see something that we really like. We don't just, help promote it or whatever. We actually put money into it. We like supporting indie short film or indie films and trying to get it off the ground because that's where everything's good's coming from now. And
pretty much. I mean, all the independents are doing their own thing and making their own stuff. So I really appreciate your guys' pledge. Thank you.
And we're really hoping that, this does get funded because I want to see it. I think it'll be a great, great movie.
Oh, I do too. And we'll hit it. I think the horror film community, much like most people, There's kind of a wait and see approach, and then at the last week there's usually like a huge run up to let people know that it's coming out, and there's a lot of pledges in the last week. It's that 2-week bell curve that happens on Kickstarter is what we try to accomplish, to try to get some more people pledging during that time.
Yeah, that's the thing about Kickstarters. Start off great, and then like you said, that bell curve, it goes down, and then the last week you got everybody just throwing in on
that mad dash the last week and then the last day. So I'll probably be up all night that night just staring at my computer screen and kicking back and watching every one of them come in.
Oh, it's got to be stressful.
I was telling Johnny, I bet you're up all night just worried and worried.
Well, I would say that, between running the campaign and, doing every life stuff, it's probably got a little bit more tension than usual, yeah, but I have faith. I mean, I made a great film, and I know I have a great script, and I know that people want to be a part of it. They're just waiting for the right opportunity, and just trying to create more opportunities for them to want to pledge now as opposed to waiting until the last minute. But, we'll just let it go as it is. Everything happens for a reason, and everything happens in time. So if it happens in the last week, then it happens in the last week. If it can happen a little sooner, that'd be awesome too.
Oh, for sure. What about the Cleveland International Film Festival? How did that go?
Went well. We had about 150 people in the audience. I had a lady sitting right in front of me who literally yelped when the stab came through the chest, which I thought was great. It means she was really pulled into the story. I mean, you could literally hear a pin drop in the audience. Everybody was just like sitting there going, okay, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then the scene in the bathroom where a girl starts walking towards the door to see if the killer's on the outside. I mean, the music playing as tense as it did, and people were just, I saw a lady gripping her hands going, oh, geez, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And that's what I love. I mean, people are really drawn into the story, and that is what, pleases any filmmaker, knowing that your audience is with you, as opposed to just kicking back and waiting for something to happen.
Everything you just said is exactly how I felt watching.
That's great.
I mean, every little bit of it, I was just like, oh gosh, when's it going to happen? Because it was, of course. It's just like, holy shit, is it now? Is it, And then at the end of it, it kind of made me jump. I was like, oh god. It did happen, because I wasn't expecting it to happen. I don't know, that's not going to happen.
Right, and that's a lot of people when they see it, they tell me we knew something was going to happen, but we didn't know that was going to happen.
Exactly. That's exactly how I felt.
So is this 15 minutes? Is it? I guess it is out of the script you wrote, right?
Yeah. So what we did was the short itself was meant to be a showcase piece for our investors. Usually when you put together a feature film package to get investors for a project, you put together not only the script, you put together posters and some storyboards and some concept renderings and the budget, but then you want to also put together some visual footage, obviously, to show them what you plan to do on the screen. Well, the way I wrote it, I put a beginning on the scene, and then I took and actually extracted an actual scene from the script itself, and then shot that. So together, we actually had a beginning, a middle, and end, which qualified, obviously, for it to be a short film. So we decided to play it out there on the film festival circuit just to kind of see what kind of response we would get. And we premiered at the LA Shorts Fest. All of my short films have actually played at the LA Shorts Fest. So we premiered at the LA Shorts Fest. And it was there that a programmer from Cleveland actually saw it. A lot of programmers will go to other people's festivals and kind of, cherry pick some of the favorite ones for their own personal festival. So the guy from Cleveland saw us there, and he programmed us in Cleveland.
Yeah, and I seen on the updates that you're also accepted into Things to Fear Fest.
Yes, that happens next month. I was actually, in my travels of trying to find people to pledge for the project and kind of get people excited about it. A lady said she was a programmer for the Things to Fear Film Festival in Dallas, Texas, and would I be interested in submitting for it? I said, yeah, sure, if you like. So I submitted for it, and then she emailed me back. She said, congratulations, the judges love it, and you're in. Like, sweet. So we got one more festival next month.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. I mean, and of course, the more publicity you get, the better.
The more publicity, the better. We still have interviews coming up all the time. We love to do podcasts like this one. The more people hear about it, the more people see it, the more chances of success we have of people pledging right away and getting our project funded. This is my first feature film, and I'm very excited. I've shot now, because Scythe is a short. I've shot 4 short films. I've been very fortunate to have won some awards for them. And, as a filmmaker, it's always a dream of ours to graduate to feature films and to finally make it. And Scythe is going to be my first feature film.
Here at Tennessee Horror News, we really hope you make it. We hope this movie makes it. And hopefully it makes it big.
Oh, thank you.
And going back to your other short films, just currently watched some of them just here recently. And I've seen the I'm Not Matt Damon around, but I've never watched it. And I was like, what? I'm not Matt Damon. And then I seen that you did it. And then, of course, I was like, oh, crap, I got to watch this. And that was hilarious. I mean, and at the end of it, it's like, did he really get Matt Damon to play in that?
I have fooled a couple people with that.
Yeah, that's just like, was that Matt Damon?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the same thing. I was like, hey, he got Matt Damon. And then you said, no, that wasn't Matt Damon. Hold on. Because we looked at the credits and it said you played Matt Damon.
And I was like, geez. And
you got us.
Of course, had to rewind it and be like, and pause it and be like,
even my own father, who obviously knows me his entire life, he took a quick second. He's like, wait, did he actually get Matt Damon? I'm Not Matt Damon was an interesting answer to my acting career, which spawned a writing and directing career. I came to Los Angeles in 1999 to be an actor. And, doing everything I possibly could, wasn't getting as far as I'd like, so I, made a showcase piece for myself called I'm Not Matt Damon. And, I obviously was going to star in it, but ambitious as I was, I also wanted to write it and direct it. So we did that. It was like a 9-day shoot out in Los Angeles. We cobbled together the movie, the first film festival I ever went to in my life with the film. We won the second highest award there, which was incredible. The LA Shorts Fest actually gave us a special award just to recognize the piece, which was great. And in the end, it played in 10 festivals. It won those 2 awards. It got a couple distribution deals. And then when it was over, I had assumed that my acting career would finally spawn and begin. And more people were asking me what I was writing and directing next, as opposed to acting it, which I thought was interesting, because obviously that wasn't the plan. But you never know how life is going to plan things for you. So from there, I shot another short film called Going Down There, which is co-starring the beautiful Rita Guerra. And then after that, I shot a movie called Minutes, which had Michael McDonald in it for Mad TV, which is amazing. He did a phenomenal job. And then at that point, I knew it was time to start, going into the feature film direction. So I decided to write Scythe and get that going.
Yeah, it's funny how where you do one thing and then it leads you on to a separate path, and you're just like, wow, I wasn't expecting to go there.
I don't know. Yeah, I'd assume you come here to be one thing and then you end up being something else. I mean, I still star and I still act in my own projects, of course. With Scythe, I just had the small role as a newscaster. But you go down, like you said, you go down one path and then you're like, oh, I'm on this path now. Okay, I guess we'll just kind of go and see where it takes us,
Going back to Scythe, is the scene, it's going to get reshot, or is this going to be in the feature?
No, it'll be reshot. Yeah, the actress who played that scene, her name is Andrea Moeller. She actually will be the star of our film now. She did such a great job. I couldn't see myself not casting her in the lead role. I mean, the horror film genre essentially is the star of its own genre. The horror film, as long as it's shot well and done well, it doesn't necessarily need stars, although we're still going to try and get one for one of these supporting roles. So when you have a independent horror film, you want to have as strong of actress as you possibly can. And Andrea was an incredibly strong actress in the film, so I absolutely cast her in the lead. So for that reason, obviously, we'll have to reshoot that scene. But I was planning on doing that anyway.
What got you into horror? Have you always been a horror fan?
Yeah, I have been a horror fan. My issue was I've seen so many bad horror films. There's a lot of them out there, and that was always my concern of like, well, how come there are so many bad ones? Aren't we like really trying to make some quality ones here? So the more and more I saw, bad slasher films with all the cliches and me sitting there and just predicting everything that's going to happen with them and knowing, the next thing that was going to happen, I was like, well, shoot. I mean, I know I can make a good movie, so why don't I make a good horror film? So, and obviously Halloween was a great influence for me because that was like the original slasher film, which was phenomenal. And Saw was another great influence that's on us because it had, again, that human interest factor and the pacing and how original it was. And Hitchcock films were another good influence for us because, Hitchcock was all about what you didn't see as opposed to what you did see. Obviously the infamous scene in Psycho, you never actually see the blade going into Janet Leigh. So it's all about what's in your mind and what the filmmaker can actually have you fill in your own mind about what's happening. So taking all those great films together, I kept those in mind when I wrote Scythe. And I would love to make, an iconic film, if possible, out of Scythe and make the Grim Reaper, besides obviously the mysticism that we already know about him being an iconic personality, for the lack of a better word, but I'd love to make him an iconic character along the lines of Jason or Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger, if that was all, or Leatherface, if that's possible.
I can see it happening, definitely with this movie.
Hope so.
So are you going to retool the character of Scythe, or the Grim Reaper character, right?
Well, he's not the mythical character, obviously. He's just the masked villain character. He has a couple of different traits about him that most people are thinking that we're just gonna use like the long-handled scythe as his main weapon, and that's not what's happening at all. Actually, his character, he has a background as a pitcher, as a baseball pitcher. So he actually has a lot of mini scythes up his sleeve, and he has like a sleeve device where he clicks one out and throws it at his victims, and that's basically his main weapon. And then when he slows his victims down, that's when he hauls out the big scythe to take care of business.
Yeah, that's where I was really going with that question. That's cool because like you're going to have a background for him, which will be good,
Yes.
To build him up a little bit. Awesome. I like that concept.
Definitely looking forward to this.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it. So I guess we'll wrap it up here, and we appreciate you coming on. But can you give out your Twitter and Facebook and anything that, where everybody can get a hold of you and to comment and all that stuff?
Absolutely, yeah. On Facebook, we're simply Scythe. On Twitter, we're Scythe Jim. You can find me there. Obviously on Kickstarter, you go to Kickstarter.com, you type in Scythe, and you'll with the first one that pops up. I really appreciate being on here, guys. To everyone listening, we'd love to have your support. We'd love to have you pledge. Check out all the awesome pledges that we have, and you'll find, I'm absolutely guaranteed that you'll find something that works well for you that will want to help you support our project.
Yes, and Jim, we really appreciate you being here. That's all we got.
I appreciate it too, and you have a good one.
You too.
We'll talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, guys. So y'all heard it. Go help support him. Go help support this movie, not just him, but the actors, and everybody starring in it. That's all we got.
We out.
Peace.